Hi everyone, good morning. It's an exciting day today. Blackpool are playing Everton in a pre-season friendly, and I have got former Blackpool and Everton superstar striker Eamonn O'Keefe. Morning, Eamonn.
Morning, Lee.
Morning.
Thanks for ringing up. I've had to put my shirt on and everything.
You're looking fantastic, Eamonn. I've been told that you're going to be at the ground today. You've been invited by Everton and Blackpool to do some sort of punditry. Is that right?
Yeah, but they didn't tell me. They just told me now that it's on the roof. So
you're on the roof. Are you actually on the stand then? Is that where you're on?
Listen, I don't know. I think they've kept that back from me. Like I'm gonna take a parachute or something with me anyway.
Are you all right with heights, Eamonn? Can you get? They've got some ladders at the back.
I'll soon tell you when you hear the crash and bang on it. No.
So
I'm actually wondering what it's going to happen like. But no, well, I'm looking forward to the game anyway.
Yeah.
Two old clubs, one that has probably massive, the following and the way they run the place and everything. And I'm hoping that the new thing at Blackpool will sort of, well, ideally go to Everton and see how they've laid it out, because it's one to follow without a doubt.
Have you been to Everton's new ground yet? Have you seen the new ground, the building?
I've not seen it. I've seen where it is, but the training facilities alone are absolutely second to none.
Are they?
And so, yeah, and it's got to be worth a wander down there if anyone's thinking of doing anything at Blackpool and building that at Blackpool up to anything. Then to copy them won't be far short.
Yeah, exactly. Now we've got Neil Critchley, who obviously was with Liverpool Academy. He's our manager now. What do you think of that, Eamonn? What do you think of that appointment?
I'm glad to see that a lot of these clubs appoint a manager that's been at like 5 different clubs and not succeeded, and it's like going for a job where they said, well, you're hopeless at being an electrician, but we'll take you on anyway. No, what I mean is I love to see the new thing coming through. Someone with new ideas and of course where he's been, he's had massive experience of watching and obviously picking out the things he wants and the things he doesn't want. So give him a chance. Let's get behind it and give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you think Blackpool will go on this season, Eamonn? Do you think they'll go on well with Critchley?
I think they will, because I think he'll be very thorough, and hopefully he'll bring some of the touch of sort of the Liverpool attitude and stuff. Because I think his first thing is anyone who wants to just stroll about and go through the season, he won't have a minute's time for them. So he'll be weeding out and bringing in. I just hope he can do it. Sometimes it clicks quick and sometimes it doesn't. So we just have to be a little bit patient early on.
I've got a prediction here. So somebody's already put in the comments. Alan Ferry woke up this morning. We'll just put his comments up there. Woke up this morning feeling fine. Got Blackpool FC on my mind. We're going to beat Everton 3-1 today, he reckons. What do you reckon? That's a bit. Do you reckon Blackpool can beat Everton today with this full team coming? Is it? Oh,
when I was in non-league, for example, and I was signed for Everton. The pace of the game, the pace of the training and the pace of the game I had to get used to. And I think the difference between the Premier League and then the further leagues down is that also the confidence to say, I don't care who you are, we're going to play our way and we're going to give you a go, But they'll be looking to get some out of this as well. So it'll be a tough game. But that's what you want at this time of the season.
Are there any players we should be looking out for? Everton players that are going to cause us a bit of
I'd be more looking out for me on the roof. I might not even be watching the match. I'd probably be holding onto a bar or something.
So what are you up to?
I think to be honest with you, I think they've strength through and through, haven't they? And they'll be as I say, they'll hold the ball well. And because that's what happens in the Premier League, they'll hold the ball well and they'll strike quick, and you just have to be up to it. And I think if you can get past the first half hour and be reasonably comfortable and hold on to it a little bit, then you can start saying, well, we might have our bit of luck with a corner or something, because it's a lot of theirs will have a lot of good pace, and that's one of the essential things for them, I think.
Sure. I've got a Mark Chamberlain here. If you can see the comments, you probably can. He says he's got mixed feelings today because they are Everton and Pool fans. So I suppose you are as well, aren't you? Sort of Everton and Blackpool. You've always been fond of Blackpool since your time at Blackpool.
Oh, absolutely. I love the place. Supporters, I couldn't fault it. But now that's the same with Everton. But I would really like, Everton's at such a standard at the minute. I'd really like, especially with Blackpool, with the new chairman and stuff like that. If they can get, if they can mirror some of the stuff that how they run the place, not only do they make us feel special when you turn up and everything, they've got this players with Dave Cockrell who helps run that, and the ex-players that come are phenomenal. There's loads of them, and I feel sorry for John Cross who runs it at Blackpool. I think we need to get. You need to get the X ones behind it, and it brings in revenue, and it brings in other people.
Yes, former players are very valuable, I think, to all clubs. I mean, look, they're using you today, aren't they? They want you in to, to do a bit of punditry. So,
but we love it. If you're dead on it, it's heartbreaking to leave the game.
Yeah.
To be involved in any capacity, but also there's lots of people who remember, and when you go, we've been, John Cross has been marvelous getting all these players to come and sort of sit in the lounges and stuff, and the amount of people come over and go, do you remember this and do you remember that, and they've got loads of memories, and of course they will have. So it becomes a real good day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you're really looking forward to it today. So what are you up to at the moment, Eamonn? Have you got anything going on anything in your life?
As you know, I've retired, but I've got an absolute I can't speak much about it at the moment, but right. I've got a golf patent that's gone that's patented in America and Europe, and it's just coming out. Oh. But I can't really speak much about it because I'm going to launch it on, I think it's the 4th of next month. And wow. We're so here's me. I'm trying not to speak about it, but
tell us more, Eamonn.
Lee, I'll let you know.
In this or something, Eamonn. Do we need shares in this company? Is it going to go worldwide?
Set up the company. We've got we're waiting on patents in Australia, China, Canada,
wow.
But they're pending. So so it's been in the closet for a long time, but now I've retired, I can put something in behind it, and everyone's pleased with it as well. So but I'll let you know, because I like to let you know exactly when it's coming out and what's happening.
Oh, right. Okay. Let me just go through some comments we're getting through here. We've got Alan Ferry says, Everton FC, a Liverpool sidekick, small club in Liverpool. What do you think about that, Eamonn? I think you're a Liverpool fan anyway, aren't you? Is that right?
I tell you what. If he thinks Liverpool's the biggest club, Everton over the years, when they're winning stuff, and don't forget, let's not forget when that Heysel thing happened, Everton won the league, but the English clubs were banned from Europe. So thanks, Liverpool. Thanks, Liverpool, for that. But don't talk to me about that, because the place, Everton, will be jam-packed if they start getting success. Absolutely. But, joking apart, Liverpool have been fantastic this season. You've got to give it.
It's been amazing, haven't they? The football they played.
Brilliant to watch, brilliant to but I think I hope Everton's turning the corner, because they'll give a real good challenge, I think, this year.
Yeah, I think so too. David Scholes is saying, nice one, Eamonn. You're an entertaining player and a great pundit. He's not sure about you being a climber, though. He's a bit. Is in fear of you climbing?
I'm sure about not being a climber. Don't worry about that. They'll probably could take me about an hour to face the pitch.
I'm looking at the weather, Eamonn. It doesn't look so bad in Blackpool today. I don't think you'd be blown away.
Is it open air as well?
It is open air, yeah. If they've got it on the top roof, there's on
the east. Take a balaclava with me.
You might have to take an out with you.
Dear me! No wonder they never told me. No wonder no one else can go on. They've got. I must have been the last call, hopefully, to con him. No, give it a go. Looking forward to that.
We've got a few people in. Before you go, has anybody got a question for Eamonn? I mean, what was your favourite memory at Blackpool? Can you remember your favourite? I mean, we could talk about your wonder goal forever and a day, I suppose.
Well, every time. I think it was To be honest with you, I think when we clinched, we played at was it Darlington? I think we won 4-0.
Yeah, we did. I was there,
and we absolutely battered them. You know, it was a pleasure to be on the pitch, and you know, and they were up there as well. So we did ourselves a massive favour. And of course, the Chesterfield goal, I get reminded of that all the time. It's one of them things. As soon as it's left your foot, you know it was going in. You know, it's one of them.
Yeah. Do you remember the crowd? Do you remember the fans? Because I was there, and we wouldn't go until Sam Ellis came out from the dressing room. Do you remember? We wouldn't actually leave. You know, we were there for about.
Tell you a little story. Well, a little story about that is, I think I've told you before about we had 2 directors on the bus before the match. And
that's right. Thing. You did.
And when we got on the bus, they were still in the bar, and Sam said to the driver, "Right, drive off." And we looked at him, and he come over to me in Welsh and said, "Hey, listen, I've left them 2 there. If we lose, you can say I left on time because I said 5 o'clock on the bus or whatever it was." And she said, "You can't count on me." I'm saying no. Anyway, because we won 4, when they got on the bus coming home, they were half cut, going, "Brilliant lads," and all that. I mean, "What about you, like, leaving us?" You know, and he went, "Oh, we're so sorry about that. Don't worry." And we all thought, can you imagine if we'd lost 4?
Yeah, if you'd have lost, I know.
There might have been a little bit of a different story there, I think. But anyway.
Cosvlogs is asking, how did it feel when you retired? He says a lot of players suffer nowadays. How did you keep yourself going when you retired from football?
Well, I did. Well, first of all, I was on such a high at Blackpool when I did my knee. Yeah, but I never dreamt for a minute that'd be. I mean, when the surgeon says to you, "Look, the way your knee is, if you continue training, you're gonna rub the thing away completely, and then if you want to play with your grandchildren when you're older and all that, then you're gonna be all over the place." Well, that's all I needed to hear, and I said, "No, I can't do that." But it was such a time as well. You know, everything was going so well. It was almost inevitable that something had gone wrong, you know. And
sure.
But the trouble is, Conroy, my best mate of mine, Mick Conroy, obviously he played for Blackpool as well. He broke his leg the match after, and I think Sam had a massive task of trying to replace players that were injured. Esky, I think, was injured as well. Trying to replace them when they had no money, you know, he didn't have anything to play with, so it just came back down the league again. You know, we were hoping to go up again.
Yeah.
But in the space of a fortnight, the players got injured and started losing points.
So, did you go into doing anything else after you retired, Eamonn? Did you start doing sort of?
I worked with which I always have to work with children in homes and which I've enjoyed. It was a manager in the Red Sands in a home in Cheshire. But the thing for me was I'd always had a football, link with someone, even if it was just a non-league. And when I played in Mosley, it was 70 years and they won a trophy. So it was really, it was a really good place to be, you know, for when they were rang up and went up there. It was like watching the old. And then I found out the money that they got from Everton, they built the stand behind the goal. So of course we've had a few free drinks when I'm there. I'm taking my stand home with me. We don't get any more free drinks. I'm taking my stand home. No, we had a good laugh, and it's great to see they made the stadium using the money. So at least that was put back into something useful for the Mosley supporters.
Yeah. Stephen Roberts says, thank you for all you did, because he remembers you watching you as a kid for Blackpool. Before you go, I'm just going to ask you, what's your favourite memory playing for Everton? Because obviously there's going to be some Everton fans watching this. So
the one thing, again, a bit like the goal at Blackpool. We played Southampton in the FA Cup, and we played them down at the Dell, and we drew in the 5th round. We drew 0-0 and brought them back to Goodison, and it was a full house. In fact, they were all stood on the church at the end, you know. And Keegan was playing for them at the time. And coming extra time, the ball just bounced up perfect for me and just stuck it away, and the next thing, the whole place erupted, and I get reminded of that constantly. But I still have sweaty things about when the ball bounced down and I hit it. I could see it was going to go past the goalkeeper's hand, and it was going in the goal, right? So I was away. I was like to the Gladys Street end. I was away. And I always had this sweat that I thought, what about if it hit the bar and come out and I'm jumping up and down like a lunatic? You know, thinking I've scored the goal.
Yeah, it came out. It didn't go in.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the net. As soon as I knew it was past him, I was gone. You know, I was away to the corner flag. And I always think, now what about if I missed and I'm jumping up and down like, you know, as though I'd scored. But the crowd soon, you know, once the crowd went mad, I mean, there was 50,000 people, and it was jammed in, and it was just a fabulous time. What
was the biggest game you played in, Eamonn? Somebody's asking here.
I think if I'm being dead honest,
the best game.
Played against England. Played for England at Wembley. Played for Ireland, sorry, against England at Wembley. And to walk out on that, you know, after a kid, everyone used to think, if you could play at Wembley, what would that be like, you know? And to walk out to do that was although we lost 2-1.
Who was in the England team on that game, Eamonn?
The likes of Lineker, and we had, of course, the Irish team then was very strong. And Mark Lawrenson, Ronnie Whelan, Frank Stapleton. I played up front with Frank. Dead happy memories, and actually to say I walked out on the turf at Wembley, and also to be an international player. You know, you can't get any higher, can you? I suppose so. Fabulous.
I can't let you go, Eamonn, without mentioning your book.
Right. Yeah. Well, I always feel as though when I used to watch the television and someone would come on and say, let's mention your book, I used to think they were going, oh, they've asked that before, and to say, don't forget to mention your book. You know what I mean? And I used to say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, because now people will be thinking, I've told you to say that to me.
No, I know it's a good book. I know
but my wife Lorna wrote the book for me. We were in Portugal. We sat down, we were telling all these stories, and we were laughing between us and said, why do you put all that together? You know, and especially thing that happened with the Prince. I think that makes it different with the Prince, because that was a trying time.
It was terrifying, Eamonn, terrifying. I read the book.
Absolutely. And it was, it was, you're in the middle of nowhere, you know, and that was a trying time. But Lorna wrote it great for me, you know, because what she was a neutral. So when I could tell her, she wanted it to be worded in my words, but also in the right context of the book. So what we decided to do was we put each club we'd been playing at from non-league right through. We put that down, and then we put whatever incidents we could remember from each different one, you know.
Yeah.
And blended, and she did a great job. And in fact, Fred Airy wrote loads of books. Phoned me and said, "Who's looked at this? Who's put the professional touch on it? Where did you get it?" And I said, "Well, why are you doing it?" He went, "Fair play," because he was going to have a look at it to see if it needs if he thought what he thought of it. He thought we'd already had a professional looking at it anyway. So, but I'm not telling Lorna that. She'll only get big-headed.
So she did a great job of writing it, didn't she?
Fabulous, absolutely different class.
Before you go, Eamonn, because I know you've got to get off and you're coming over to Blackpool. Stephen Roberts just asked here, can you give us a prediction for this afternoon, and who will you be cheering on? That's a hard one, isn't it?
Right, I'm not going to answer who I'll be cheering on. No. I want Blackpool to succeed in the way the Everton had when I left. It went better. No, I want them to be as professional and they've got the opportunity with a new chairman and a new thing to. If I was them, I'd get down to their training ground and get down to the ground and watch how they run the place, because it's absolutely different class. Yeah. And so I know it sounds like I'm bending towards Everton, but this is all to come for Blackpool. Everton's in it already. But if if Blackpool's going to get forward and go into something and go into it properly, then you need to copy the likes of Everton.
Yeah, somebody was actually asking just earlier what you thought of the Oystons, but I do know that, you know, I do remember, and I do thank you, because you were quite a big part of the Not a Penny More, weren't you? Know, you came to a lot of the meetings and the BST meetings, and you were very much behind the whole battle with the Oystons, weren't you?
Well, Christy needs a lot of credit for all those kind of things. But what really disappointed me, I think, was that there should have been more than me. I mean, Tony Green was as active as me.
Yeah.
And we both were chatting, and we said there should be loads more players than this. And this is when I go back to the likes of John Cross and the ex-Blackpool. If it was Everton, you wouldn't, the street wouldn't be long enough with ex-players, because they have this bond with the club, and they invite them down, and they make it, you still feel special. And I mean, sometimes John's been there on his own with hardly like 2 seats, and I just think that guy is Blackpool through and through, and he just needs a little bit of John Cross, just a little bit of a blazer on, maybe, and a recognition that he is the players' thing, because all the players love him to death. I'll tell you now, if he phones you up, I very rarely, I say, right, John, I'm on my way, you know.
Yeah, because for those that don't know, Eamonn is talking about John Cross. He runs the Former Players Association, doesn't he, at Blackpool? He looks after all the former players when they're invited down to do halftime draws, or whatever, and they're invited, aren't they, to every game? Well,
in fairness, Lee, one of my concerns was when we were doing these marches and stuff, I was saying to John, where's all the players? Where are they all? You know, because the fans would look up to you if you were walking along, you know. And I really was a bit upset. I mean, I phoned Mick Conroy in Ireland. He flew over. Lorna picked him up at the airport to get there. And when we got there, he went, where are they all? And I think there was me, Stonehouse, God rest his soul, and Davis, and that Ginge, and that was about it. And it's a shame. I just thought, and that's why that needs to build up on that side, but I'm sure they'll get that right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a different club completely now with these new owners. They're fantastic, and the Blackpool through and through, and so we're quite pleased, about
that's
the way
what you need.
We're just glad we've got them now.
The best start they've had. The best start they've had was that the guy who's took it over is a Blackpool supporter. That's probably the best shout, because all he wants to do is to make it the best for his club. And just all I'm saying is, if you want to take it a stroll on a drive down to Everton, but I'm sure it's absolutely brilliant. Everton should be what Blackpool are aiming to get to, really.
Correct. I do think that they'll look after you today, Eamonn. I think you'll have a different experience than you had under the Oystons. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, on the roof.
apart from
the wings with
you on the roof. Right, Eamonn, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for your time.
Great to talk to you as normal.
People who are watching this, if you're Blackpool or Everton, Eamonn is going to be on this afternoon. He's going to be a pundit for the game. So we will be doing a watch along today, and we'll be following this match. So we will see everybody. We're coming on about 2:30 today to discuss the match with all Blackpool fans. And Eamonn, have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoy your prawn sandwiches and the wind, and stay safe climbing up that ladder. All right.
I'm going to have to take a balaclava with me, and I think I can see it coming.
And
as usual, great to talk to you, Lee. Take care.
Say thank you to Lorna for me for setting up the tech, because we'd have never got you on without, would we?
Yeah, what are you trying to say? That I don't know anything about technology. I'll just turn this off.
You really don't.
I'm going to press this button.
It's a pleasure. People are saying thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, he's gone. All right, that's it. That's Eamonn gone. We'll see you later on this afternoon. We are doing a watch along. We'll be on about 2:30, me and Jane. So we'll chat with you. Thanks for watching. See you all later. Pool are going to win. Prediction 2-1.